What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Pre-sales are live over on Gamer's Choice. As always, even though you can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly, I put the audience first. Do not shop with FOMO. That being said, no card over $100. That puts it right between Rarity Collection 1, which was great, Rarity Collection 2, which flopped, and that's about where this set should be. A lot better staples, the nostalgia pool is cool, and asterisks on the ratios, it's looking like about 3 nostalgia quarter-century secret rares per box. This is more platinum secret bonanza, so the platinum secrets are going to be much more abundant. Now, if we are looking at 3 per box, which is speculation right now, that's 36 per case, meaning you need to open about 6 cases to see the entire pool, which isn't bad. A lot of people are dooming over this, but think about a core set, right? Like, you're opening over 6 cases to see all 25 different on average if you're doing mass openings. There's still RNG if you're going for that amount of sealed. You're going to see clumping, you're going to see different things. So it's vendors like this that mass open for pre-sales that can kind of lay off that and also take the hit if short prints are there anywhere in a set like this, which would be horrendous if that affects quarter-century secret rares. That being said, no card over 100 is exactly where I'd want to be. I would not lead with Engage, even though it recently had huge popularity. I'd probably switch that with Triple Tactics Thrust, so that's looking pretty nice early. Quarter-century rare secret that is getting its debut in that Rarity, because you can only print it in that Rarity once if you're Konami, but seriously, with the discount, making it even a little bit cheaper, I could see this being the $120 card that debuts in the set. And I always like to price the highest stuff under if I was a pre-seller to give that attraction of come and add other stuff into your cart. So we'll see what that is. Shizuku at 80, I can't really speak to that. It feels a bit high, but Sky Striker is so popular, and I get why Gamer's Choice is trying to lead with that. Bonfire, while outclasses the collector rare, I don't think is a $70 quarter-century secret rare, but again, we're looking at 6 cases to see that. So, like, if a vendor opened 300 cases, they're probably only listing 30 to 35 each of cards like these, right? For variants and whatever may happen while opening. So, there's probably not the deepest stock of a lot of these. So, don't shop with FOMO, but do think about the range and what could get bought out early. Like, BLS, I think, is cheap at 50. As weird as that might be to hear, remember the collector rare being 400? Now, that was crush card times, different times, and people have started throwing collector rares out the window to try to get cash back, right? But at 50, that seems rather cheap for something I think would probably swap places with Shizuku and be towards 75. Caius is highly anticipated. I would have thought 50 until we saw ratios and saw its Platinum Bonanza. Asking 60 makes sense. I think it could be towards 75. Eroded Brain Control, Ultimate's still king. I never bet against draw cards. 50 for the estimated value pulled seems high, but James is an old school player that does run this, and trade-in, it does make sense. Again, I never bet against it when it comes to these. Substitute seems a little high to me, but highly anticipated for Edison. Blue Eyes White Dragon makes sense, even though it's not SDK art and SDK is less, it's much harder to pull out of 6 cases of MSRP up packs versus 10s where they're just appearing in every other case on average and that kind of stuff, and 10s are already cheaper, where it's like 3 cases of 10s at MSRP goes usually towards $60 boxes, a single case of those. So this might be a bit of a hunt compared to the SDK art, but there's still estimated value pulled to consider. The Secret Rare Extended Art OCG Mirror Force goes for about 30 in Japan and goes for a little more outside, so I respect this price specifically on Mirror Force. It seems to be relatively well thought out for past format. We have the Ultra Art House Dragon Maid Waifu tax. A lot of people looking forward to that. I wouldn't be paying it, but they're the eternal rivals on Market Watch for a reason. A lot of people are hyped about Lieb here getting its altar art. There's only half the Charmers. So Little Knight making the front pages odd to me. That is the Platinum Secret Rare, or is it the Collector Rare? Let me actually click this real quick. This is going to be PSCR. I would think that's Collector Rare. I would think the Platinum Secret Rare would be more, but I'm actually not sure which one that is on Gamer's Choice. We have Gores up here, Ubel, Secret Village, Pot of Avarice, so that joins a lot of the line that already has quarter century secret rares and is good in past formats. Plant, Tengu, right here together. I love super rare Wind Blast. I think this should probably be a 20 though. Kaiku recently got bought out and pushed up and only debuts in the nostalgia pool. It makes sense for the highest rarity of it. I'd probably put it towards 25. Darkened, I might have put just a hair higher considering going into the reprint. The copies were like $20. I think this is a really good one. Maybe 30 is exactly where it should be. I think that's a good price. Catastor, I'm a big fan of it. Looks like a lot of blocks of 30 here. It's kind of just guessing on prices and trying to make a blanket for ones. Yeah, Thunder King I think's cheap. That's probably a 50 in my opinion. That's going to look very, very nice in quarter century secret rare. I think that's a price a bit low. And Stratos over here, the ultimate, is still up in price and crazy. I think that might be a bit cheap at 30 and could be a 50 over time though, versus pre-sales and chopping up the set. I was wondering where Dark Magician Girls were. I would probably be getting these sooner than later at this price, mainly because look at the 10 Dark Magician Girl, even though it's MFC art, and now consider these are really a lot harder to get. I could be wrong, but Dark Magician Girl and Blue Eye stuff, I don't necessarily bet against, and I think it would go in the order of the newer 10 art, the movie pack, and then last, the old 10 one. The Mega 10 one specifically, a lot of people really love, and I think these at quarter century secret rare feel a little bit cheap. Upstart Goblin also for the staples probably about where it should be. The God cards could be a little bit lower. Look at how the King's Court ones have gone that are so much rarer and hard to pull. I think it could go down in price. Linkage kind of makes sense here at 30. It's its first reprint. It's quarter century secret rare. That's pretty decent. Again, I'd have to estimate the chop up value pull because again, you're looking at each box probably having 3 of the nostalgia quarter century secret rares. We still don't know the pools. So you're thinking about that, and then you're still getting the rest of the set's value, like probably $6 thrust and the lowest rarities and stuff like that. Emptiness is probably a bit cheap considering the secret rare was so pricey for so long. It's nice to see Tomb Blackluster Soldier at this price in quarter century secret rare. That's awesome. Red Eyes Darkness Metal feels cheap to me. So does Raigeki. But again, you still have to consider that these are going to be mass opened up. A lot of people are going to sell these cards, but cards that graceful in this rarity, heavy storm, these feel a bit cheap to me, but maybe that's where they should be. Every single iteration of Dark Paladin opened up, even the Speed Duel Secret becomes money. 20 for its highest rarity besides first ed original. That seems a little cheap also, but Blue Eyes Ultimate. So I guess I'm overestimating stuff because like there's so many in this block and this is the last stuff in the pack and you're still going to have that chop up and we still have to wait to see what they're going to do for the 30th promotion. The collector community is very much like, I don't know what's going on here. So a lot of these prices make more sense than I'm giving credit for. Like I'm hyping myself up on them a bit, I think. So you're seeing like my thought process because I'm reacting to these card prices of, ooh, if I was making a card and then wait, hold off a bit. But we did look at the set earlier, so I came a bit prepared. Sakuretsu armor, old school staple, but Goat's fallen off just a bit to the other past formats. Premature Burial, kind of the same boat. I love to see the dandy stuff here in high rarity. Plague Spreader's awesome to see too. All of the Necros stuff, that's going to be in demand when that deck does roll around. Morphing Jar, great to see. Again, these QCRs are going to be hard to get, but there's going to have to be junk ones. Do they price any under? Oh, Genzo. Oh, Genzo. Oh, that's awesome. I might end up checking out with a small cart myself after this video uploads. There's so many awesome cards, but Genzo, like, where does it land, right? Like, is that actually $10, $5 when the set's out? Or does it, like, actually hold for Goat? Because that's its main formatting. Again, Goat's fallen off. Troop Dupe Scoop has my heart. Allure. Now, I said I never bet against draw cards. Allure is in the main set, so I think you would see more of those, and there's the Alter Art Polymerization at 22. That's what you have to consider, all these core set cards. So it looks like they're trying to blink them at 20. That seems probably a little bit high. Quarter Century Secret Rare Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils does not sound too high, but that's PSCR. Okay, this already had a Quarter Century Secret Rare, so maybe that is actually a bit high for the Plat Secret. I would see that being more around 12. Okay, I forgot it had a quarter century secret rare. Live editing done cheap and realizations here. Overall, I think the pricing for the odd-off rarities is okay. Let's look at SP Little Knight. Let's see how they're pricing the main staple. SP, does that bring it up? SP Little Knight, all copies. $7 for the Ultra, 7 for that. I said I thought it would be the staple-ish cards towards 6, but this could act more like Baroness and be a little less, although you play multiple of her and she's highly anticipated. Around $6 is where I would have thought pre-sales would be. After the code, it's about there. That makes sense. Let's also look up Thrust copies real quick, if we can. Thrust. There we go. For some reason, I can't see what I'm typing. And they have it up a bit more towards 10. I still feel like these are very impactful, but Triple Tactics Talent was very impactful. I feel like these should be around $6 also. So I'd probably wait for these to dip a little. But that's what they're trying to do, is offer some deals and hope you just add things to cart. And that does make sense. I rate these pre-sales relatively well priced. Overall, again, I said what I would go for, what I would avoid. There's plenty to look out for. It looks like they have the dollar cards around too. So let's go with best selling just to wrap up the video and see what people are going for. SP like I thought. And look what's not in the top row. It's Thrust all the way down here. For the cheapest access copy at 10, DMG is in the top 20, so I had a pretty good feeling about that one. And the Alter Art Poly is at 20, and it does have Burstentrix. This art will probably be edited for the TCG, I imagine, if we haven't already seen a glam that is edited, but I don't know. And yeah, there is Red Eyes Darkness. So I had a pretty good nose for what was going to be there. Go ahead and look through the site yourself. I would make timely decisions, but again, don't shop with FOMO and do the math for yourself, although a lot of it is speculatory right now.